battle of the evening, if you will, to find out who moves forward to tomorrow night's best of 5 against Dignitas, the winner of that, into the last remaining qualifying spot for the group stages. This is Group 2 we're obviously qualifying for at this point, and it is the third map. Dobry, I've done it again.
Dobry&Gaming.
Did you just try and say it in his voice?
Whose voice?
Dobry from, like, Harry Potter? It's Dobry.
That's Dobby, isn't it?
And Gaming. I don't know anymore. I'm confused. And Peter.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, that was really distracting. So going to this third map, we go Peter and Dobry&Gaming. Dobry&Gaming. Going in, it's going to be the knife round deciding the third map, and we know what that means. I think it's been it's been a long night. So
have I had enough coffee for this?
Matthew has promised we're going to do a speed.
Have I?
Yeah, you said it up there. You promised me at least. Do you want to let the public down?
You should
tweet Matt.
You should reach out to a lot of.
If we get 10
I know
tweets,
in my life that I broke
Sadikis,
promises to.
he'll do it.
10 tweets.
10 tweets mentioning Sadikis.
If I get 10 followers.
No, don't beg. Come on. We're better than this.
That was greasy. That was greasy.
All right. 10 tweets to Matt saying Speedcast.
I've got my phone at the ready. Like, I literally pulled it over here to see if this is happening.
Okay, but yeah. So going into this map, difficult to say how this one's sway. After the first map, you assume that Peter were going to be the dominant side. And they went into a very convincing win for them, 16-8.
Ooh, Twitch is going back to Peter. Really? It is. I agree that this one is going to be a lot closer than what we just saw in Mirage. That was a clinic.
That was horrible.
Well, I did mention that Gamers 2, as they were formerly known, was very good on that map, and it was surprising that they weren't the ones to pick it. But now we go to a map that I think is a little bit more traditional in the way that it's laid out, and obviously gives some skill for picks more so than we saw.
So when the Twitch chat vote like that, are they voting who they think is going to win the map, or who they think is going to win the whole series? Like, are they?
I would say, well, obviously at this point it's map, because that's all that's left. But I think that they have been going map to map. But some people may not know that. So when it's the first map, they might be saying the opposite. But it is supposed to be map to map.
Okay. Well, obviously, knife round. The CT is, I'd say, still the favoured side in current meta. A lot of teams do capitalise on that side. We've seen some interesting games in this last few days. Kinguin have actually really surprised me on this map. They had a really nice approach to it. I think their mentality is almost perfect to play in this map. They have a mix, almost a hybrid, if you like, of set pick play and executes as well. They're able to chuck it in, and when teams try and counter what they're doing, they seem to have the perfect response and just answer back with something else completely different. So they're definitely a team to learn from on this map. You're a young aspiring team, go watch some of their demos. Unfortunately for you, they are some of the world's best players. That's why it works so well for them. Matt's just checking his phone now. And
I've got 0 tweets, so you're doing the speedcast this time. That's what that means. Yeah.
Okay. Is that how we decided it was going to go down?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I thought as much.
Not a single person wants me to do it. See? I told you it was overkill. And it also means that a lot of people might have us muted. And that means they're dead to me. But the people that are dead to me don't know they're dead to me because we're muted.
So you probably made more people mute.
That's fine. They're dead to me too.
But
in a perfect world, I am the only living human being.
But that's your...
With my dog.
I thought that might be the case. So you and the dog. So it's like, what's that film with Will Smith, the zombie film?
I know exactly the one you mean, and I cannot remember the name of it.
But he has a dog, and it's him. I mean, that's your ideal world,
Starts in New York City, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like an apocalyptic
I watched it recently. What's it called?
I can't remember it either.
I'll look it up.
It's not iRobot. It's
definitely not iRobot. That didn't have to be said.
I know that, but it was what was in my head. I'm trying to figure it out by thinking aloud. You're actually looking it up. What? Someone's.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. See, I knew there was an I in it.
It's not iRobot. Yeah, thanks for clearing that one up. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, you can live the I Am Legend lifestyle. That's what's coming. You guys will be the enemy. But I think
Speed Knife, do it. I have one person. I'm gonna do it for.
Ooh.
Oh, I got 2. I'm gonna do it for those 2 people.
Good. Well, that's the promise out the window then. What's the point of setting the bar if you just go below it, whatever happens?
See, this is the thing. I always deliver. I'll never let anyone down.
There's 2 people. They'll be happy.
Yeah, man. Everyone's got to get their fill. But talk me through Cash a little bit.
Okay.
Talk me through Peter and how we've seen from them tonight if this is going to work out in their favor or not.
Well, their T side on Mirage, we're basing it on that alone. They're going to struggle. They seem to they execute on the bomb side. They seem to have they seem to forget how to play Counter-Strike in general. Really, they normally on Mirage you can do set pieces like off the bat straight away, but it's like the thing you do to surprise a team is when you're mixing it up completely and they're trying to adapt to what you're doing. That's when you chuck that in, just to be a little surprise tactic. You do it when you've got Tech 9s and Smoke, for example. The only time they tried an AXQ about 5 or 6 times, right? But they were doing it straight off spawn. They weren't locking down middle. They weren't taking the vision away from the CT. So when the CTs have full vision and there's no pressure on them whatsoever on any side of the map, they can afford to keep the upper middle. They can have one player in B because there's no pressure being exchanged whatsoever, and it comes down to about 30 seconds in the round. There's nothing spotted whatsoever, and the smokes fly over. The rotation's going to come in, and you're going to think, okay, we haven't seen anyone else on the map, so we can pretty much guarantee it's going to be an A side this time. And they got in, and they were actually facing sometimes before the smoke had even bloomed. And when you do that, that's a big problem. So going into Cash, if they have a similar mentality of just doing set pieces straight off the bat, I think they will struggle. And they need to be, like I said, what King were doing yesterday, you boost up into mid, you see what setup is being played by the CTs, and that's when you can actually work out whether a set piece is viable, that situation. You need to see what kind of control they've got, whether they're pushing B, whether they're getting information. As soon as you allow the CTs to get information, like so say you go run straight towards A, and you're about to drop your strat, a CT has no reason why he can't push into B storage and give that call off straight away. And you have no idea whether he's got that intel either. So you're on the back foot before you've even begun your strat because you don't know the rotations that are coming into the site. So that, in a nutshell, that's what Peter need to avoid doing. They need to be making sure they're actually working picks, getting pressure on the map before they go into take on there. But this map, Cash especially, has been envious almost redefined how it's played. They had a very strong setup of on the T side. You come to the squeaky door area, a couple of players in A main after you've worked the map, and you do one smoke towards the quad area and a pop flash through the CT smoke, and you take advantage of that, and you all focus towards the highway and forklift area. And then you can isolate kills there. Instead of having to face the whole map and the whole bomb site, you isolate that one area, and then you work as a little unit going around. But yeah, I think that's enough theory behind
I got enough.
Cash.
I did get enough in the end, yeah.
I filled quite a lot of time as well, though. That was quite good.
You did. You bought them a lot of time to make sure they got in.
But there we go then. So the knife round. Already. Some coffee.
I'm not gonna actually build it up that bit much. All right. People have referred to it as rap quad. All right, I'll do it. First slash. Wow, they're being so timid about it. Why? Come on, guys, just get it done. Apparently, it's Mom Spaghetti because Vomit on his sweater already going to swing the spaghetti arms, but the butter knife won't do damage. It's going to be blunt and beating to a bloody pulp. But in the words of Toby Wan, the late great PGL caster, it is going for the swing to get the ding, and now down to just one player left. Innocent's going to run back on against 4. We did see Device last year get a 1-on-5 on Inferno, but this is not Inferno. There's no choke point, and he does not choke. It is going to be Dirksky, to get the final kill. That gives Peter the CT side on the last map. That's not a bad thing to have.
Not your fastest.
That actually was kind of slow. It felt slow.
But
maybe your mind is just finally comprehending my incredible speed.
Well, entertaining nonetheless. But like you said, Peter staying on the CT side. And here we go then. We've seen a lot of teams, especially Kingwin yesterday. They pushed 3 players into the B storage. They like to get some information, and that's really the best thing you can do. You can work out whether it is the B rush. A lot of teams do opt to do that, and if they're not there, you can at least get the information. You have one player playing very passively towards the A side. But let's see what Peter do. And looks like the B rush will be coming in from D and G as well. So
Dolce and Gabbana.
Let's go.
This is a really fast B rush as well. They're not stopping. They don't even want to consider stopping. They just want the bomb site. They want the bomb down. They want the round to open things up. And they may just get it yet because they are on top of Spiker. But the problem they've got is that JMQ has made his way back inside Checkers. And as he gets there, Waterfall's made his way through the vents. So they've slowed things down, cut it off in the middle of its act, dropping the bomb no less. So they've got to go back for that. And they do have it back in their possession against 1. It's Dursky, and he always gets a kill. Almost every round he manages to find. He may get another here because the whiffs come out from the Glock. He nearly picks the head of Meniz, and knowing that problems ensue, they're going to run this bomb all the way to A. Dursky's going to spot it. But rather than go to a one-on-one, that may not give him a good post-plant position. He's able to bring this all the way over, and Meniz doesn't have to take the fight. They're here. I actually don't mind that call one bit, as it brings now Dursky back up onto highway. But it's still tense. Both angles covered. Innocent actually gets bailed by Meniz there.
So the B rush is pretty convincing going into that one. They got the first few frags, but a decent response from the CTs. Dirksy, like you said, picking up 1, Waterfalls, and JMQ as well. But that round going in favor of D&G, and the force buy will be coming from the CTs. A scout is very viable, especially on Cash. There's a lot of jumping opportunities there, and great long-range angles as well that you can get first tags on and fall back and allow the CT team to pepper them down after that. But 3 MAC-10s, interesting. You don't normally see 3. Normally 2 is the limit for a T-side buy, but let's see how this one goes down. Mid-area being locked down pretty much straight away.
Shots do come back through as they make the vent their home.
What's Innocent doing?
But unfortunately, it's a gopher hole. What is Innocent doing? As they go back and grab the bomb, Michu's going to bring it nearer to the B site, but as he does that, the CTs are also getting nearer to the B site, rather, excuse me, and Spiker's made the advantage go firmly now in the way of Peter. So another eco potentially coming on against TNG.
They don't deserve to win this round. That was horrible. One, you've got the advantage. You know, like you're going up against a force spy. At least take the sites properly. Don't run through events one by one and hope it works out for you. That was hard to watch, Matthew, and I'm very disappointed with DNG. Very sloppy, and they deserve to lose that round. And
so you know, you can tweet them and let them know your disappointment exists, but it may not have to happen if they can bail themselves out of this. Maniz on 2 HP makes that a problem. He's swapped over from a Mac 10 to an AK, but they still have 3 players against them. And the low HP player, Spiker's, put himself in the corner with the SMG, which means he's going to be a problem when they get close to the site. Michu has to be the one to hunt for him, but he doesn't have a way of stopping Dursky, so he just sits in the middle of 2 and somehow doesn't pay the price for it. Now he does. A Spiker swaps back to Old Faithful in the pistol. And again, Maniz on 2 HP. Yeah, I think he's just going to bail out, go home, and save his gun. Give up, concede the round, 9 seconds left, no point.
I think they actually threw that one away on purpose, it looked like. I don't know why you would ever do that. They get the mid control. When you have no contention like from the C2s whatsoever in mid, that's amazing. Like you've won the round at that point, and then Innocent decided, oh no, you know what guys, it's a little bit too comfortable for me. I'm gonna go die and jump out of the vents by myself. Good luck trying to win the round. That's like worse than matchmaking. That's just like, I'd be screaming down commentators about what are you doing. But there we go. He's going to throw that one away for his team. Maniz does save an AK, and it's going to be 1-1 now. CT should be able to bounce back pretty efficiently from this one. They get a pretty nice buy there as well. So Famises, AKs, there's an MP9 chucked in for fun, but the force buy is coming in from the Ts. They're going to try and use that AK to their advantage to see what they can do with it. Maniz being boosted up with that weapon.
Yeah, it's in a great spot. He spots waterfalls now. This is what you would want from the AK. The problem is that he's very low on HP. If he goes down, he better hope that AK falls backwards so they can grab it. In fact, right call is made. The fact that he's gone low, give me your deagle, you take the AK, Mr. Michu. And it might be nice to meet you.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know. It actually was like blatantly obvious in the tone and the way I said it. That was not like foretold. It just happened to roll out that way.
It
but
had to be said.
Yeah, JMQ now. Getting Spiro makes things fall back in the favor of the CTs, although this is close again. And I say it's in favor of the CTs, at least in that initial exchange. They still don't have the man advantage because they've got 4 Ts left on the map, and they're all, with the exception of Maniz, grouping inside A main.
He's doing the fake right now. He's trying to get some attention. It's actually working pretty nicely. 2 CTs over there, and the execute does come into A.
So Dursky has to close this. Yeah, rather slowly indeed, but Dursky does have to close this on his own. He's adjusted his positioning to a more passive angle inside the site, but now he's got the call. As the smokes will come in, the door is open. He has to make sure he picks the right shot to start it off with, but they're going to go over top. He does find one. It's Michu to go down. That's the AK, but it's recovered instantly. Innocent now having it. Can take the second shot onto Spiker. Well done indeed. As he goes to 8 HP, but they've got 3 still alive. Even less than that for Maniz as he's on 3, but the same for JMQ. He's on 8 as well, and he's way over at B, potentially trying to just hang on to the FAMAS. So back-to-back, I mean, I guess they forced in this one to go around that AK, but if you will, back-to-back ecos.
So saving that AK proved very viable for them. They actually got the first pick in middle, started pulling the CTs apart, and obviously that force buy makes up for the mistakes that were made in the second round. So they're going to be pretty happy with that. As you can see, the CT economy, they cannot justify a force buy from that situation. And all of a sudden, DNG take the advantage back into their court. And there you can see they have a deagle on Michu, but it seems like all 5 players, actually 1 player going towards the mid area, but CT's doing a pretty standard 2-1-2 setup. And maybe the T's now just going to be walking straight into the A-bomb side. Maybe 1 pop flash, but it seems like that's what it could commit. When you've got all 5 players there, you need to make sure you get in quickly before the CTs work out what's going on.
Oh, missed Molotov. Rather unfortunate. Yeah, so they doubled that up just to make sure they turn all of quad into an inferno. Spiro will take down face crack. That works well. Gives them the entry that they're looking for. Little do they know that they've got Dursky, who's quickly coming back down towards Squeaky, opening it up. Is it hurt? It's not. Michu. How does he overlook him? He didn't even spot Michu when he came out. He was so committed to going to quad that he didn't even look for it. And Michu wasn't ready for it either, so it could have been at least 1 kill.
So the money's still pretty bad for CTs. I would have suggested maybe taking another eco here. Because if they lose this round, they're going to be in a world of hurt. But they have got the Famises. No head armor. 4 smokes, no incendiaries. So a round they really do have to win. No defuse kits either. This is going to be a very big struggle for them. If the T's going to do more of what the same, boosting up middle, utilizing the AKs in the mid area, they should be able to lock this round pretty convincingly, but it's going to be quite a passive setup in the CTs. Only one player in middle, he's just going to be working the sandbags area. And is that a boost I see coming in? No, it's not. Michu just holding the A storage area. And it looks like they're just feeding out the map and trying to work out what's being employed here. But Dirksky being boosted up on the A site, and that could be important. That's probably a good call from them, considering the buy they have.
JMQ inside vent, giving lead to both mid and B. Spiro's going to wait this out toward the sunroom as well. Could work wonders if JMQ gets forced out by a Molotov, which that's now happened. That's gone through. And it does put him down, but Spiro wasn't looking at the angle at the right time. He's in the open. That flash comes out, and it's actually JMQ to win it. So one up for him, aware of that threat as soon as he gets dropped out. I'm surprised that play. That's almost a set play to force it out and catch it on the other side, and it doesn't work out for DNG. So they'll go over to A instead this time. In fact, all three players that are heading to that site will be opening that squeaky door, but Dursky's position is strong, not able to connect the kill fast enough, so it allows Lord the time he needs to turn back and get him down on top of that boost spot. But here comes Face Crack into the site. He's shut down by Lord as well. Good round from him. He's had those moments of brilliance throughout this series this evening, and now Waterfalls makes things viable for Peter. It's left to Maniz, and poor old Maniz is wondering what happened to his teammates. Well, he might soon find out. Or will he? He'll let Peter find out. A taste of their own medicine as they almost line it up, and Maniz very nearly closes it right there. He now has the bomb in his favor. He doesn't even need it. That's beautiful.
Amazing clutch from him, and that was so confident. As soon as he whipped out the deagle, I knew that was connecting. Really, really good stuff from him. 3-on-1 clutch with the bomb down, and that is going to be so disappointing for Peter. A situation they thought they had to win. Let's just enjoy this for a moment, this last shot here. I knew it was happening. See ya. Down he goes.
Kabam. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
So there we go. Now the anti-eco setup for Dobry&Gaming. They get the MAC-10, the scout player, who actually is able to work out information for them. And if he does die, it's not a big deal. So you can see him utilising that MAC-10 very nicely, getting into the site there, taking down 2 players with him, and they should be able to swarm the site now. No problem at all. That's all the CTs eradicated.
Lord's got mid. Gives him another shot. He's already burned one person alive. Giving pledge to the fire god, the Lord of Light. Pledge, please help me. True English speaker. Paying tribute. Let's just go with paying tribute on that one.
It's difficult. I don't really know what you mean, but
yeah, well, that's a problem.
Here we go. It's a problem. So you can see the guys here haven't got a very good buy again, but they have obviously opted for no head armor here. You don't really need it against the AKs. They have got some decent equipment on the board. Orb coming in for Spiro again, and that's going to be difficult times again for Peter as the first frag does not go in their favor, and now having to spread thin, work out how they're going to approach this round. They need to gain some control elsewhere. They can see they have got some decent B control here, but the player in the vents, maybe they need to push into B storage and isolate that one player is waiting for them.
Where he's boosted in from the B side, though, that vent's not broken out. Now he knows Innocent's staring at it because it is in front of him, and Innocent needs to be a little bit weary of that. Spiro got lucky to be ducked as he was and pop for the shot. If he had to come up a second sooner, I dare say that nade would have landed on his chest. So it went over his head. It didn't do as much damage as I initially thought that it would. 77 left for him. Good rotation from Spiker as he tries to take down Michu, but he's going to have to be careful, Michu, as he's on 2 HP, and that push comes in slightly too soon for him to be prepared. He did have the right thought, the correct guess that it would be nearing, and unfortunately Dursky's still going to find that kill against him, but it brings us to 4, so the round is all to play for as JMQ, I keep wanting to call him JDM64.
Don't do that.
I won't. JDM64 is not in the server. JMQ
like
is.
A B split coming in. They're going to get control of that checkers area. They know B storage is clear. Next frag will be very important, and execution is going to be vital here. JMQ waiting on the side.
But it's been easy. I find Spiker first, and never mind JMQ because Lord's thrown out yet another nade. So 2 utility kills in the last 2 rounds to complement everything else, all the good work he's done. But we're not out of the woods just yet because Dursky's now found him, and his bomb is going to get planted. Rotations, though, aren't coming. Yeah, Face Crack's just going to watch all the way along the long corridor in front of CT spawn by the truck, and Dursky's going to exit through mid. Which way are the T's going to exit, though? That's the better question, because Dursky set up for this. Nah, he's not even going to bother. Well,
they should be hunting, really. They've got very decent money in the T camp. Well, it's not amazing, but they have enough to definitely buy next round. They can justify hunting down those CTs. They're going to be wanting like the squeaky door area, but it doesn't look like any serious hunting will be going down. No one's really looking out or sniffing out any CT players just yet. They'll just be checking all the close by areas to see if they can find anyone. But ultimately, these guys will save their 2 rifles. So CT Money in a horrible position right now. They did save 2 guns, so they will be able to get some drops down. Famis is coming out. Again, it's going to be a ropey buy, stringing everything they have together. But the T's in a very comfortable position now. I think that's 5 in a row for them this time. And they're looking very strong right now. After that clutch they got, the 3-on-1, I really did bring them to life.
Manise goes back over to... Interestingly, that kill came that quickly in middle. But Manise goes back over to Skylight just to sit, watch. No one inside the vents to throw out that Molotov play this time. They'll throw the Molotov regardless, but it won't account to anything. As we get a replay of that first mid shot. It was through the smoke. That makes a lot more sense to me on how it came that quickly as Innocent wins that duel. Michu's going to go back up and just push into A. There hasn't been an early push yet from Peter in here. We've seen it chasing out a low HP Michu, but we haven't really seen them try and get that control early on.
It's difficult when you haven't got the rifles or the utility to take advantage of. You obviously you don't have that confidence. It's more of the thing that CTs do when they're rolling quite heavily. They can justify it. It's very scary to do that when you've got the odds against you and you know the T's don't have to do anything to overcommit. They can wait for you to see if you do that kind of stuff. But CT's fighting back though as they make 2 frags in a row. It's going to be a 3-on-3 now, but the T's actually getting some control of the B site, and it's going to be a retake now required from the CTs if they're going to get back into this. So with no kits on the board, forgive me, actually I have one with JMQ, but the HP he's on, they won't really fancy their chances here.
Well, I'm going to go down now for Lord on top of the B site. So D&G looking good again, but the rotation is going to come over. It's still an even keel in terms of manpower. Spiker's not going to go for that CT connector because there's a smoke on it. As I say that, though, JMQ's got the entry through the vents, so things looking probable as they have a player inside heaven. Spiro, though, great spot to be with that op. Doesn't even need to find the first as he unscopes, though. The kills come the way of Peter. They've got them all. They just need to get this defused, and they certainly, well, it's debatable it will, yeah. Okay, you know the timing better.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine, though. Don't worry about that.
Denied. Shaquille O'Neal.
So, yeah, that's the first round in a while. I think is that 6 or, yeah, first in 5 that they've actually taken a round. So, see, terrorist team, obviously, money's not going to be too much of a factor. We can see Spiro on a nice little AK there, but I'd have thrown Michu under the bus, I think. He didn't actually get a buy out of that, but there we go, he just get drops. So he's okay. The CT's now actually got an AWP of their own. This is the time they really need to get some momentum flowing. If they lose this round, they're in a horrible position. They go down to the $1,400 zone. And maybe a little bit more aggression now. You can see FaceCrack pushing into the squeaky door area as they lose the first kill from Waterfalls. But this means FaceCrack needs to find this frag, and he needs to find it right now, but he's going to fall back.
Michu and Manise do manage to make some damage done to the T side, give them still a man up, and add more in Innocent. We saw him get a mid last time and managed to take that shot from White Box. He's gotten up further up highway this time and a similar result. As the bomb goes down, it's left to JMQ. Now the fortunate thing, the saving grace, the silver lining in the round is that he's got 2 very low HP players, so the M4, 1 bullet regardless of where it hits. Well, I shouldn't say that on Lord's case, but should be enough to take down his remaining opposition, and he's going to smoke that off. That was a weird ring of fire around the bomb. I'm sure that was just an animation glitch because it had to have naturally been running away there as well, and he's found the first JMQ. He's going to search, but door, no, not the wrong correct. Yes, you've gone the wrong path.
That was actually pretty clever, you know, putting that smoke down and getting the T's to panic a little bit. Had they both run out and he'd waited maybe 2 seconds before he took the first shot, he could have taken them both down there. That was actually quite smart, but as I said, this is the nightmare position now. They did manage to save 1 gun, but getting $1,400 into this round is an absolute nightmare. Like, what do they do? It's going to be such a difficult decision. They have got 1 rifle to play with, but if they force this, they're on to full eco next round, and I think they are making a very wise and informed decision, if you don't mind me saying, because they actually do not force this. They keep the Desert Eagles, the PT-50, and they're probably try and push and force some frags out of this.
If they can get some frags out of it, it would be absolutely massive.
Good damage.
Yeah, they are. They are doing great damage. Innocent's down to 2 HP. Spiro, though, looking for a response frag. There it is. Takes the head off Waterfalls, and it's also low now. On to, who is that? That's Dursky, excuse me, as I struggled to read his name on the overlay. That nade did so much damage. Lord's going to actually collect him. So Michu has a chance now to lurk in on A without the problematic situation of having a rotation coming from highway. So thank you very much. That site now open. Bomb's way back in the mid garage. They'll go back and get it now and bring it over, but it was never an issue. They just played the picks and why not? It worked out perfectly for them. Add it to a total that Michu gets another 1 to go.
There it is. Now the CTs, the money still is pretty crap for them, I'm afraid. They're going to have to do a famous buy once again. They're only one incendiary, and I've discussed this on Cash quite a lot before. Having the incendiaries as C2 is so vital for them because it allows you to use the smokes at the beginning of the round to lock out any rushes. And then when the execute finally comes in, you have those incendiaries to actually force the T to go in the area you want to, and you can kind of areas you won't have to flush out towards the reclaim to the bomb side. But now, very heavy contention from the CTs in the middle. That's an area they want to lock down, and not really having any presence on A whatsoever. They've got one player with Famous holding that, and it's going to be almost impossible to hold off if D and G decide to go there. So an all in play, but the bomb is actually over towards the B side. That's quite interesting because you can see the T is actually looking like they're going to set up for a set piece, a huge fake, and Manice again with the bomb in that toxic area. And this could be very impressive.
They need to just watch for Dursky that's inside a vent. If they can somehow... Okay, he actually fell inwardly, so now he's going to be at B, even though this fake happens because it's a longer rotation. If they could force him through middle, they would have had a better chance of walking in for free. But interestingly enough, as you mentioned, this fake was going to transpire. Because they've gotten the picks, they're actually taking the bomb back to A, which they'll be met with the company. Well, not Dursky, but certainly Waterfalls and JMQ. And it's a seesaw. They go back now to B because they realize that's happening. So indecision, but it's not so much that it's the wrong call. It's that they want to make sure they're being safe about this.
And that smoke they just did in the connector area, that's their saving grace. They would have shut down there by JMQ, but they do make their way to the B site, and it's one more kill from Manice onto Waterfalls. And your boy JMQ up in the upper area. Got to get shut down.
It's your boy, and he's going to take down Manice. So he's still in this with a shout. But we'll see if anyone hears him yelling because he's still trying to work inside of this site. Innocent staring directly at him, and I'm afraid that shout might deter itself to a whisper because he's fading off of this quite quietly. And it will become a save. 8-2, make it 9-2 for D&G.
Absolutely. But they keep saving rifles here, so the money doesn't get completely owned. If we were to, now they know where he is, there's only one player remaining. I think he should be okay.
Yeah, he's nowhere near him.
So how many is that in a row now? That's 3 in a row. So the CTs go into this with pretty abysmal money. Like the CT economy management is so important. We talk about it quite a lot as analysts in CSGO, but you can see them now. They've got one gun. Again, they're down so much. They need to decide how they're going to approach this round. I don't think they can justify another force buy. They need to aim for the next round, try and get 5 on the board. Not really enough as a CT side, but it's the best they can really hope for here. They can't keep struggling in this pit, but at least JMQ will be going for a pick with the M4. Gets completely shut down, and they're going to have to try and recover it. Trying to press E onto the gun, whether he can pick it up, and he does, but he will fall back onto the B site, and now the T's just need to bide their time, work out what's going on, and it looks like Spiro is not done here yet. He wants to find another pick in the mid zone.
And he does. Nice shot. Good reaction. Takes down Face Crack. Still presence in the corner. Needs to be aware. Spots it, and unfortunately Waterfalls couldn't do much about it. Lord will take down Dursky because he was still putting a bit of threat toward that off in mid, and interestingly enough, Lord gets forward and places Spiker.
Nice little spray from him. Good control.
You
But
could call it a spike.
why would you do that?
Like volleyball. You just
You're
slammed it
always
down.
doing sports references. I don't get them.
It's the only sport that matters is CS. You're fine by me, Henry.
Right, so 10-2 on the unfavored side. D&G come alive on the third map, looking very strong right now. And finally, we see an AWP from Peter. They're actually, like I said, taking the full ecos on the chin and making sure they potentially can get 5 on the board. But something very fast, perhaps, coming in from D&G. See a lot of commitment over to the A side. And a very bad smoke from the CTs as well. Look at that into the A storage. I can see right through that. Michi's got some great intel here.
Waterfalls looking at drop to make sure they won't push over top of it. Dursky's got really good information, though. This push onto A long. And Lord, I'm not sure if Lord knows it or he's just anticipating it because he's staring at it. Checking the corners. It is a possibility. We talked about the Safari Mess AK before. Well, we'll see if it can compensate for its dashing looks by getting a kill. As it looks, and he will not. Dursky wins that duel now. Dursky needs to be careful, though, because this will call the attention back to him. The bomb is down, so if he spots it out, he'll know they have to commit back on a rotation at some point, but so far there isn't that happening. D&G just want to get inside the A site, guys, but you're going to need a bomb plant to do it because you don't have that much of a man advantage, nor do you have that much map control to work with as Spiro picks up another kill, and now, okay, good. He'll go back and grab that bomb, and he's also opening up on JMQ. Could potentially give them a rotation point. They'll actually meet in middle. Converge, consider, recycle, reduce, reuse, whatever. Take over another spot in the map because they're a man down still, and the opening hasn't really been there for them.
Oh, that's really poor from Waterfalls there. Why is he in that position when the round is so close? Brings it to a 2-on-2 situation now, and that could be the kill there. Throws it all away for them. As they make their way onto the B site, there is going to be a CT waiting for that. Spiker, he does clutch it back with 8 seconds left on the board. You have to favour the CTs here. Spiker just needs to stay alive and just make sure. Don't need to face now, dude. But there we go. He gets away with it. So Minis gets taken down, and pretty convincing round from the CTs. Got some great early picks there. I think the AWP being in middle was a much stronger factor for them. Actually managed to get the first kill and fall back to that point. But as I said, Waterfall was in a very silly peak towards the end there. Didn't need to overcommit that. Got himself in a tricky situation. But look at the buy on the CTs now. They really are struggling. Every man they lose is another mouth to feed, unfortunately for them. And it looks like they're going to be struggling this round. If they lose this one, they go into the round with absolutely nothing. So definitely need to win this one to actually have a chance of getting back into this game.
It's crazy how one-sided every game has been. I mean, obviously, Cobblestone, there was an 8-7 halftime. But it was, I mean, Peter looked the better team leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And then obviously that shifted on Mirage, and we're in a similar situation here. It's T-side, 10 rounds for D&G. Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragons?
It's just like when I say it, I keep thinking of D&D.
Okay. Interesting.
Look, there's no explanation for how my mind works. It just does, okay? And if I ever had to explain it, it would probably be depressing and very worrying. So I'm just going to go with it, and we're going to accept it, and we're going to move on.
I have accepted
Dursky's already moving on. See, he's flashing into A main.
Well, we can see the T's now. They got some A control.
Good
it looks
read.
like a little set piece coming in and actually going to show their presence now. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. A kill required from the CTs. They're not going to get it. And it's going to be down to Face Crack in the quad area. He needs to find a kill to get them back into this round.
And he's just looking to find the one at quad in specific. As he goes for a reload and then resumes his aggression. The nade will do it for him so he can look to his left instead, but that's where Waterfall's playing, and he's found 2. There's still no response because Michu is still occupied over at Forklift taking down the rotations, and Waterfalls eventually will be one of those players as it comes down to just Spiker. It was a 1-on-3, and it doesn't even matter that it goes that far because the bomb plant already happened and the kill comes in. 11 rounds now, D&G.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Losing that round is be very detrimental to the pocket money of Peter. As you can see, that's pretty much what they have now. They've got about $1,400 each. And scraping together, get some pistols together, and they've got a Mag 7 chucked in for fun as well. So let's see how that works out for them. They need to do a stack here, really. You can't approach this like a normal round. They need to come up with something a little bit more inventive. As the push comes in for middle, 3 players will be going up that mid zone and shutting down the CTs waiting for them. There's only going to be one there. Like I said, if you've got this kind of buy, you need to be stacking somewhere and trying to take the gamble, but they haven't done that, and now the T's should have full control.
Oh, that smoke bounced the wrong way, Michu. He'll use it regardless, and in fact, if he goes forward of it, which he's now done, it'll protect him from potentially what could come out of Z-Hall, but Lord's taking care of that. So Michu just wants an entry from it, finds Face Crack, Spiker. He's got a response kill on the lurk at B. The interesting thing is that while all this is going on, okay, good read by Minis. They had the flank coming in from Dursky. He's been quieter than he was in the first 2 maps. In fact, only 8 kills total for him. It's JMQ, who was the MVP of Cobble, that leads the way.
Well, 12-3 on the T side of Dcash. Not good scenes for Peter. They're in a very difficult situation now, but obviously there is a chance to bounce back. You can never rule it out. Cash can be a strange anomaly sometimes. I've casted some crazy games on this, and teams have bounced back and managed to get one that stands out for me was at Sevo when Cloud9 played CLG, and the same scoreline went into this, and it somehow went into overtime. So you can never.
Who was ahead?
If Cloud9 went in, they won.
Oh, right. That was the Sevo. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
As soon as I clued in that you said Sevo, I remember the exact game you're talking about. I remember Sean Garris making a tweet immediately after that.
Yeah. So here we go then. Going to the pistol round, we can see Peter all opting towards an A-bomb site and no pushing from the CT, so it should be pretty successful.
Although that Molotov does exactly what JMQ wanted. Brought Michu out into the open, and then he could just take the shot carefully and collect it. As Lord looks to go over the smoke in a response, that bomb will go down, and Lord finding more and more opportunity, perhaps, as he works back in. And they haven't moved. The bomb planter stayed in that default corner. Does Lord know that? He doesn't. And as he tries to figure that out, it's going to be Dursky coming out from quad, but a nice response, Innocent. And the pistol will go to D&G, and this will put them on 13, pending a bomb plant, potentially up to match point before we get guns out for Peter. I'm sure they'll force sooner than that.
Yeah, they got a pretty nice entry to the bomb site with the bomb down as well. This is a nice retake from Innocent. This is stellar USP work here. Little one balls. It looks so nice. It's always so tempting to start using that gun again when you see people do that stuff, but I prefer the P2000, I have to say.
Really?
But yeah.
I think I use the P2000 only because I have a skin for it.
Oh, really?
But
That's
I
a good
prefer
reason.
the USP.
That's definitely a
Man,
viable
look,
reason.
you got to look good. Half the battle, if you look good, you feel good, you play good.
I guess. There we go. That's an insight to the analysis of Sadakis there, so.
Well, I mean, come on, HLTV logic, right?
Right then, it says it's going to be a forced buy from Peter, of course, after losing that round. You get back into this, but Innocent still firing all cylinders, takes down face correct?
His face crack.
Yeah, sorry.
Put a crack in his face. Michu's going to put a crack in Dursky's face, and he'll get help from Innocent taking down Waterfalls because he was blinded. And that round was swift. 14, no bomb plants and no money, so we are going to potentially see this match point before the guns come back.
Let's get some more analysis from you. You're in this situation. You're Peter. You've just force bought.
Yep.
You're looking down the barrel of match point.
Yep.
Money's rubbish. What do you do? Do you force buy here, or do you think?
No, you got to save this one because if you lose this one, you're going to be in a position where you're going to be like very scrapped for cash.
But do you want to try and
You
force this one and have at least a chance to win the game still?
Exactly. If you win it, you've got yourself at least a buffer of one more round that you can make a mistake. Pending everything goes perfectly. I understand your point of view, but I don't know if I would. I mean, they had $1,900 total on some players, which isn't a whole lot to work with.
But that means you can still get a
Tech 9,
armor. You could do the simple A execute that a lot of teams do and have great success with. And looking at that buy, they actually may have...
But here's the thing. Now they can get full AKs with utilities, whereas they wouldn't have been able to get the utilities otherwise. And that
12 in a row acquired is my point. Like any other situation, that's absolutely fine. But when the chips are down...
So you would go for it?
I would, in that situation, I say, like, we're obviously, if we get to the match point, we've got 12 rounds to go, that's pretty much GG at that point.
I consider myself a liberal, but apparently I'm conservative, because I think I would have saved that there. Because now they've got utilities. We saw how open things were and how much they got slaughtered in those other rounds. I think I'd just wait to get smokes and flashes.
Well, here we go then. Obviously the biggest round so far, match point for D&G, and this will close the series out. They take this round, and they will be the second team to go through to tomorrow's group final.
Versus Dignitas.
Of course, yeah. That'll be a interesting game. One you have to favour to Dignitas, but D&G looking strong on this final map.
Michu trying to spam through that doorway as well to where Spiker's waiting in the dark and lonely hallway. As his friends do the rest of the work toward middle. Waterfalls was already over that boost. He'll take out the vent to give up that B site. Potentially, if they can work it in their favor. Spiker, though, has found Lord. And now Peter, finally, with the guns, are making things work. And it's Spiro to claw back into it just slightly. But he gets flashed off that truck, so they get safety in the cross. Michu's managed to stay alive inside A-main this whole time, but it amounts to nothing. As JMQ makes him pay for that, he doesn't land the shot that seemed so easy initially. Maniz, though, he will get his. It's on face crack, and this brings it back, and the HP is still low right now on Peter's side, so nothing is safe. Nothing is a sure bet until JMQ arrives. And he'll have his say in the argument. And Maniz may just have to bid this one farewell and give up the fourth round.
Well, I think if you can save a gun, that'd be the wise bet for him, considering the CT economy is okay, but saving a gun would definitely help boost it. But he's just trying to take some T's down with him. That's actually quite a smart idea. We know they're force buying and they're going into these ones very poor, but winning this round, they should be okay now. You see them actually all going to be on about $3,600 average, I'd say. So the two other teams may have to drop a gun, but it's going to be a pretty stretched buy for them. Looking at the CT camp as well, not a lot of cash available. You can see they have got an AWP. That's going to be on Spiro. He has been pretty influential in this CT campaign, but let's see what they can do. It's double AWP setup. This is a good way to finish it out. I like this. The fact they'd probably know the T's can't afford AWPs. This is a good way to close out. Maniz is going to be one. Actually, he's not one of the AWP players. Interesting way he's going over there. Who's going to be joined by? It'll be Michu in the middle area. So the AWPs actually spread out a little bit. So Spiro trying to get that A control. And they're doing a lot of damage with the wall as well, but he's going to lock down the A storage. And the T's is playing so far back right now. They don't want to give anything away too early. They're trying to see what the CTs are reacting, sorry.
And the first kill nearly goes against Dobry&Gaming, but it's 1 HP left for Innocent. He actually wins the duel against Waterfalls. Dursky now has fallen to join him inside that casket. Spoon up and snuggle, boys. You might have to make room for 3 more before this is over. But they're going to get down the middle. That'll put pressure on Spiro with the op, and he's now taken down as well by JMQ. A good play from him to get over top. That slight boost play over top of the white box. So establish a crossfire if you would. Michu's not going to do it. He's pushed out A main. That leaves just Innocent near the site and smoked off with 1 HP. What can he possibly look to do? And Michu's, interestingly enough, not even going to retake from A main. He's going to go towards Squeaky, which I do believe is still closed the last time I saw it. So that'll give away his position when he does open the doorway. Innocent knows that Spiker's still inside that bomb. That default spotted with 1 HP. He makes it pay because the peek never comes from Face Crack. He's busy flashing highway, and Michu is going to come out as a result. That 1 kill to make the difference. 16-4. Do it. Burn him alive.
Oh, there we go. A very convincing game for D&G. They had a sensational first half and then completely obliterated that one. Mirage really showed their dominance there. Cobble, obviously, a little bit hit and miss for them. Got 5 in a row. They got completely shut down after that. So definitely the better team, what I feel, but they had some signs of being a little bit lackluster, especially on Cobble. And that was their map as well.
Yeah, I was shocked at how quickly that came back because remember that was 5-0 on Cobble, and then Peter just basically ran a very simple strategy that there was never any compliance to from D&G. Look at the stats. Michu and Maniz lead the way. Michu with a slightly more favorable scoreline.
I was going to say, Spiro, I'd imagine, got the most close kills on that map, seeing as he did open a lot of the rounds. So 5 for him. So that's potentially when he's doing the AWP plays, trying to get the picks at the start of the round. So he did pretty well. Looking over to Peter, not a lot of people really stepping up. JMQ was probably the biggest fragger, but it's going to be Maniz. 22 kills, he's your MVP. Deadliest weapon of the AK. Pretty strong stuff from him. Like I said before going into this series, you probably have to pick him or Michu as your MVP. So he stepped up to the plate. And there we go. 2-1 in favor of D&G. They will go through to tomorrow's group stage final against Dignitas.
And that's another best of 5. We've
Group
already
stage
seen 2.
final.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So group stage that does consist, in this case, of Fnatic, Envious, and Titan.
That's a horrible group to go up against, right? And
all the groups are horrible. All these groups are pretty rigged. I think the North American one's got some decent chances for some people, and I think CLG and Luminosity could battle it out. We'll see what happens with Liquid in that one, and obviously qualifying into it is Method, slightly lesser known. They were in the professional division this year, but lesser known team. So a good chance for them to showcase what's been going on in the off season. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow night it's the 3rd best of 5 we're going to see this week, and I think I do favor Dignitas in it going into it.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's the inconsistency factor. That's why I was hesitant to say it, because there are times when Dignitas just don't show up.
Their inconsistency is only really true at LAN events, I think. Online against teams like this, like D&G, I don't think they'll struggle too hard. The fact it's a best of 5 as well, the inconsistency factor is almost eradicated. You've got so much to play with. You do have one map you don't really show up on, maybe warming up, not hitting the shots. In the first map, you can reconvene and work out, and the better team should always win. So, like, if it was a best of 3, I may favour a little upset there, but the fact it's the best of 5, I think Dignitas should get through for it pretty convincingly. Like, they seem to get shut down and have the disappointing results at the LAN event when it really counts, when they get to, like, the upper bracket stage, and they maybe drop off to a team that are equal to them, a team they expected to beat. But an online game, a best of 5 against D&G, I think they'll be fine. Yeah,
well, I do side with you on that one, that I do think they are the favor. And it's a matter of how many maps, what the order of the maps are going to be. Okay, let's predict it a day in advance. What do we think is going to get banned out in that one?
I think after, well, I was going to say ban Mirage perhaps, but D&G looks pretty strong on that. That's probably a map they'll want to play, I guess. Like, Peter were awful on it. Obviously, it's just hard to tell how they could do it. Cobble.
Dig played Overpass tonight. That slipped through.
You can only veto one map.
That's right. So I'm trying to think of what their first veto was. What was Dignitas' first veto tonight?
I don't think it really matters, to be honest, against a team they were playing. They did that.
Sure, but if it's their default ban, usually
well, they played
that's
Dust
consistent.
2. They played Overpass.
Yep.
I think it may have been.
I think Mirage was 3rd or Cash. So it was Train that went out. Which was Train was banned though by Aftermatch. So right. I think it was Inferno was their first ban.
Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, I think Inferno was. So maybe Inferno will go out, and then who would D&G ban?
Do you know what time of the show it is?
What do you mean?
well, it's the
Oh,
interesting part.
so here's what happened. All right, I decided to give Henry a handicap because I've just been bullying him the whole time, and I let
That's
the,
not
I
what
let the
really happened,
production.
though, was it?
I let the production. No, it's not. I let the production staff pick the team, and they decided to troll me. So my team was stacked with aftermatch and Peter players. Yeah, there's your points total. Talk us through your team that was carefully constructed.
So I obviously went for heavily stacked D&G players and Dignitas players. And having a look there, who really stepped up for me? You can see my best player looks like... Was it Michu?
Yep, because he played 3 maps. Kirby only played 2.
Okay, so that's how it works, isn't it? So Minis and Michu actually stepping up. We can see Innocent doing pretty well for me as well. So I've actually got some decent points from them. KRB getting me a decent showing as well. The people that let me down, Martin, 3 points. That's pretty much as low as it gets, really. Pretty bad stuff for me in terms of him. But I'm not sure. How many points did I get in total? Where do I stand?
You had mid-8s, I think. We could do the math really quickly. But the other one that I would say, you had mid-9s.
5th. Why am I always in the last 10 of the entire thing? Why is that always happening? I never.
Don't worry.
When's my breakout performance coming?
Don't worry. Mine is going to be even more abysmal. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm in the same group that I'm 60
I've
of 60.
got 9, 3, 5.
Oh, here it comes. I'm guessing I have 400 points. Give me 400 points. 686, baby. That's better than I hoped. Way to go, production staff. I am second last. I'm not last. Yes, that is a win.
That is the person. Can
we look at the last place team, because that is a credit worth having. But looking at mine, you can see I was stacked up with the 2 losing teams, which means when we go into the final, I'm gonna have no one. There's 60. It said 59 of 60, unless it wasn't filled pool.
Yeah, you're just last place.
God damn it.
Yeah, I'm not good. Nice try there.
Oh, man, I thought I had some saving grace there. That's too bad. And the worst part is these teams carry over to the finals, much like all these groups have, because there's only one game tomorrow. I'm going to have no one playing.
Yeah, you've got literally no one.
This is awesome.
Cool. So good luck with that tomorrow. I think that's going to be a simple...
How to not play Vulcan.
Yeah.
But if you do want to play Vulcan, head over there right now. Use the promo code PGL_Season1. They'll match your first deposit up to, I believe, $1,000 with that promo code. Definitely want to do it. Speaking of, by the way, we normally do the Vulcan show today. We postponed that due to this cast. We're doing it tomorrow. We're bringing on XP3, and apparently he is ready to drop bombs about what's going on with the North American roster. That was his words, not mine. So I'm as looking forward to that as anyone else is.
You're putting a lot of pressure on him, though.
It was literally his phrase was, "I'm ready to drop bombs." So,
well,
I don't even know what's going on. So this is one shuffle I haven't had time to keep up on while I was flying over here. So
what time to show?
2 a.m. local time here, 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. Pacific. So
you're doing it after the game?
Yeah, we're gonna do it after tomorrow night. I might end up doing it from the apartment. We'll find out. But that's it for us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Best of 5, Dignitas versus Dobry&Gaming. Dobry&Gaming. I'll get it right tomorrow. I'm gonna go home and practice.
You will practice. It's very disappointing.
Very
offensive. But there we go. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. 2 great games. We've got the cast there, like Matthew said.
The round tomorrow to open things up. And they may just get it yet because they are on top of Spiker. But the problem they've got is that JMQ has made his way back inside Checkers. And as he gets there, Waterfall's made his way through the vents. So they've slowed down. He's is wondering what happened to his teammates. Well, you might soon find out. Or will he? He'll let Peter find out. A taste of their own medicine as they almost line it up. And Maniz very nearly closes it right there. He now has the bomb in his favor. He doesn't even need it. And he does. Nice shot. Good reaction. Takes down Face Crack. Still presence in the corner. Needs to be aware. Spots it. And unfortunately, Waterfalls couldn't do much about it left instead. But that's where Waterfall's playing. And he's found 2. There's still no response because Michu is still occupied over at Forklift taking down the rotations. And Waterfalls eventually will be one of those players. As it comes down to this, tries to figure that out. It's going to be Dursky coming out from quad. But a nice response. Innocent